Hello everyone. See, we know that in our circulatory system, we have blood vessels, and heart. We already talked about, we have discussed about blood vessels. All right. Now let's talk about heart. See, let me first show you this diagram. Okay, so this is our heart, right? Such a beautiful heart, right? Yes. So basically, this heart is a fist-sized muscular organ, and it is located between the lungs. All right. So this heart, it's our fist-sized only, and it's located between lungs. All right. Now it is centrally placed, means it's in the center, but it's tilted towards the left. And that's why you can feel your heartbeat when you put your hand on your chest on the left side. All right. Okay. So this heart is fist-sized muscular organ. This is made up of muscles. It is centrally placed but tilted towards the left side, and it beats about 60 to 80 times a minute throughout the life. This is normal heartbeats I'm talking about. Now, what is the main function of this heart? So, the main function of the heart is to pump the blood, and that is also to all the parts of the body. So, it pumps the blood to all the parts of the body. Now, you must have experienced that whenever some patient or whenever you go to doctor, the first thing doctor does is he takes this device, medical device called stethoscope, and then he tries to listen to your heartbeat, okay, so that he understands if anything is wrong, right? So that instrument is stethoscope. I'll just show you in a while. So basically, what we have discussed till now is it's a fist-sized or muscular organ which is located between lungs. We are talking about heart. It is centrally placed but tilted towards the left. It beats 60 to 80 times a minute throughout the life. All right. And the main function of the heart is to pump blood to all the parts of the body. We can feel our heartbeats by placing our hand on chest towards the left because our heart is tilted towards the left. Now, this is stethoscope. This instrument, this medical device is stethoscope. See, this is the tube. This is the chest piece, which doctor puts on your chest. Then this is earpiece, all right? With this, doctor can hear our heartbeats and understand if anything is wrong, all right? Now, if we go ahead, we can say that the heart is divided into 4 chambers. But before we look at these 4 chambers, let's understand these arteries and veins which are connected to the heart, okay? See, this is aorta. This is pulmonary artery. See, this aorta is the biggest artery, okay, in our heart. Then this is pulmonary artery, this one. They are branching. See, this is branching into 2 parts. Here this aorta is branching in 3 parts. Then this is pulmonary vein. We will understand the function of these arteries and veins when we will discuss about the functions and the blood, the transportation of the blood. When we'll talk about blood circulation, you will understand that how these arteries and veins are useful. Okay. Then this is your, see, this is your right atrium. Now let's look at these 4 parts. Okay. So basically our heart is divided into 4 chambers. All right. The upper 2 chambers and lower 2 chambers. So the top chambers, these top chambers, you can see here, see, here there is this thin wall, comparatively thin wall than the this part, okay? So here also there is this wall. this is also comparatively thin than this wall. You can see that this walls, this and this, these both walls, they are comparatively thicker, whereas these walls are comparatively thinner. So let's understand why. See, these top chambers, they are atria. In plural, it is atria, and in singular, it is atrium. So this is right atrium, this is left atrium. And the lower part, okay, these lower two chambers, they are your ventricles. All right, so this is left ventricle and this is right ventricle. And you can see this flap-like structure, they are valves. So that the blood, they make sure, these valves make sure that the blood is flowing in unidirectional flow. It doesn't come back. All right. And here you can see this partition. Okay. This partition is separating these two halves so that this blood cannot go here and this blood cannot go here. Right. And they just follow their own path. That's it. And this partition which separates these two parts of our heart is called septum. All right, so there is this layer or partition which separates the two halves of our heart, and that is septum. So what we have seen? We have seen that heart is divided into 4 chambers. The top chambers with comparatively thinner walls are called auricles or atria, and singular is atrium, that is right atrium and left atrium. Now let's understand why they have thin walls. See, these upper chambers, they just receive blood and they just have to relax. They do contract, but not that they don't contract so hard. So they don't need thick muscles. And that's why these atria, they have thinner wall. So because they just receive the blood, all right, they have thinner walls, whereas ventricles need to push the blood outside of throughout the body, you know. And this is the reason why ventricles have thicker walls. All right. So the top chambers, they have thinner walls, and these top chambers are called auricles or atria. In singular form, it is atrium, that is right atrium, left atrium. Then the lower chambers with thick muscular walls. These lower chambers have thick muscular walls and they are called ventricles. That is right ventricle and left ventricle. So if you look at this, this is your right ventricle, this is your left ventricle. This is your left atrium and this is your right atrium. Now, the right side of the heart is completely separated from the left side. And this partition is called septum. So that these two types of blood, they don't get mixed. All right. And there are these heart valves also we talked about. And this heart has valves that allow the blood to flow in one direction only. That is unidirection. All right. So these are the valves. You'll study about these valves in your higher standard in a detailed manner. So what we have discussed, हमने देखा हार्ट के बारे में. हार्ट क्या होता है? एक फिस्ट साइज मस्कुलर ऑर्गन. ओके, आप जितने भी बड़े हो, आपकी जितनी फिस्ट होती है उतने साइज का मस्कुलर ऑर्गन होता है आपका हार्ट. वो कहाँ लोकेटेड है? बिटवीन दी लंग्स. राइट, इट इज सेंट्रली प्लेस्ड बट थोड़ा लेफ्ट साइड की तरफ झुका हुआ है, और इसीलिए आपको लेफ्ट साइड की तरफ अगर आप अपना हाथ रखते हो तो आपको आपकी हार्ट बीट फील होती है. हार्ट बीट 60 to 80 टाइम्स होती है इन अ मिनट थ्रू आउट द लाइफ. दिस इज नॉर्मल एवरेज हार्ट बीट. for a healthy person, right? डॉक्टर एक इंस्ट्रूमेंट यूज करते हैं, इसको स्टेथोस्कोप कहते हैं. अगर हम सिर्फ हार्ट की बात करें तो हार्ट 4 चेम्बर्स में डिवाइड है. अपर 2 चेम्बर्स जिनकी वॉल्स थिन होती है, लाइक दिस, ये अपर 2 चेम्बर्स जिनकी वॉल्स थिन होती है, और ये लोअर 2 चेम्बर्स जिनकी वॉल्स थिक होती है. अपर 2 चेम्बर्स को हम एट्रिया कहते हैं. ये है लेफ्ट एट्रियम और ये है राइट एट्रियम. लोअर 2 चेम्बर्स को हम वेंट्रिकल्स कहते हैं. दिस इज लेफ्ट वेंट्रिकल एंड दिस इज राइट वेंट्रिकल. तो ये जो दोनों पार्ट है उनको सेपरेट करने का काम करता है सेप्टम. ये है सेप्टम जो कि ये दोनों चेम्बर्स को डिफरेंट करता है. 4 चेम्बर्स बेसिकली, बट 2 पार्ट्स. ओके, सो ये 1 half है, this is another half. So these 2 halves are separated by septum so that this blood, the two-sided blood, they don't get mixed. All right,